Thanks to EA for providing game codes for these giveaways. Before we begin today's episode, I want to announce a new birthday week giveaway. This is actually 2 separate giveaways, one for each kit. And I'm giving away the Sims 4 Creator Kit, Ravasheen's Yard Charm, and the Sims 4 Wonderland Playroom Kit. To enter, leave a comment letting me know which moment from the 1450s decade you enjoyed the most or the least. Please also include your platform. It can be either EA app, Steam, Xbox or PlayStation. If you are on PlayStation, please don't forget to include your region because PlayStation codes are region based. So it can either be North America, Europe or Asia. You also need to like this video, be subscribed to my channel. Also please remember that in case your subscriptions are not public, I won't be able to verify that. In your comments specify for which kit you would like to enter. In case you want to enter for both kits, please leave 2 separate comments. The giveaways for those 2 kits will end on my birthday this week, 12th of March at 6 p.m. Rome time. Please read carefully all the rules that are in description under this video. Another important thing about the giveaways of the kits, those are the last kits that will be released, sort of like expansion packs, game packs or stuff packs. In future, the kits will be directly available on the marketplace, right inside the game, and there will be, nobody will be able to do giveaways for the new kits. So I feel kind of special to be able to do that. For the giveaway of Royalty and Legacy Grand Bundle, please stay tuned, we will get to that a little bit later in the video, but now let's start the episode. So first of all, hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're enjoying this past few weeks have been very crazy for me with joining EA network and kind of understanding different things. If you do have any questions about any news of The Sims, feel free to comment. Another thing for this video, I am extremely sorry. I am extremely delayed with my schedule for filming because I had to film lots of videos this week. The rest of the week I will be publishing different unboxing and collectibles videos, so there will be a video every single day this week. But I just caught flu and I feel so bad and so underwater, and I hope this video will not be boring because of that and won't be too long because of that. We started the 1450s decade with 58 Sims across all the households, main households, side households, distant relatives, and we actually ended the decade with exactly 58 Sims, which from one way, I always complain that this sim doesn't get married, this is not aging up and everything falling apart. But actually it means that the dice rolls that I decided to test this decade are working, because I wanted to stay in this range of sims so it's easier to follow for me and for the viewer potentially, and at least remember somebody. 58 Sims to remember is a lot even for me, so I understand. And I do not want to go over 100 potentially, you know? So 1450 started with the 100 Years War Part 3, and we had to roll for all the males who were enlisted 5 years before that to see who survived, and that included Liam Byrne, Aaron O'Brien, Edgar Greenwood and Anselm Greenwood. So basically a lot of men directly connected to the main household were at risk at the very start of the decade. Luckily, our heir Edmund Greenwood came back home right before the previous decade finished because of the miracle wheel, if I'm not wrong. Almost everyone did very good dice rolls except Edgar Greenwood, who is from the rich Greenwoods, and his death actually started the sort of snowball of the end of the rich Greenwoods. But the tragedies didn't stop there, because Mara Greenwood, the wife of our heir Edmund, died after giving birth to their son Edwin. In Italy, the family that we made in 1449, the Lothario family, the vampire family, they both died very quickly, leaving the infant twins surviving and sort of keeping the surname alive. There were also birthdays in the main household. Edwin, Joyce and Alex all aged up well. In Spain, the twins Diego and Domingo Aguilera, who are actually sons of ex-nun Fava Aguilera, rolled well on their birthday checks. 1451 started with our heir Edmund Greenwood marrying Bonnie, actually a sim that I found on the gallery under my hashtag. I'll put it somewhere on the screen. To be honest, at the start it was very hard for me to get used to Bonnie overall, because to me Mara was everything and I didn't expect that she will die at all. And plus Mara was the very first fairy sim I played in The Sims. This year we also had two important young adults roles, Christina Aguilera and Walter Greenwood, who is the reborn version of our previous heir Walter, but this Walter was raised by the Greenwood Church in Hanford-on-Bagley. They both aged up successfully, which meant that they would marry in the following year. But of course, in classic UGC fashion, the year brought lots of losses. In Greece, both Anna and Alexios Drakos died, and they left their son Stephanos alone to continue the dynasty. And in Italy, Nicola Lothario died, leaving her twin brother Don Lothario completely alone. And I mean, they basically lost parents before that, then one of the twins died, so it's a mess with Lotharios. 1452 brought two new weddings. Christina Aguilera married into the Garcia family, meaning that now we had officially two families in Spain. At the same time, Walter Greenwood was sent to Poland by church, where he fell in love, adopted a new name, and became Valenti Borowski, and therefore the Borowski family started in Poland. In Italy, in Angelo family, Lorenzo was born, but his mother Alba died while giving birth. There were several important losses this year. Walpurga Nachtnebel, the only surviving German sim, died while aging up into a young adult, meaning that Germany was officially lost. Diana Greenwood, whose father Edgar died during 100-Year War, also died, so the rich Greenwood snowball continues. And in Spain, ex-nun Fava Aguilera died, which was very sad. She was quite an iconic sim in my opinion. Meanwhile, in Scotland, the alien Greenwood household continued to grow. Adam was born, and both Adam and Tom rolled on their birthdays well, so they survived. 1453 was a big one. It was the first big episode I did. It was the Christmas episode for the World of the Challenge sims, and I honestly hope I'll be able to do this sort of twice longer episode in future again. Maybe somewhere I will notice there will be too many rolls, so I'll feel a little bit more relaxed and not time pressured when I'm filming them. This year brought the Miracle Wheel back to celebrate Christmas. Some lucky sims received miracles that helped their families continue. The way I structure it is usually every miracle somehow connects to pregnancy. Therefore, we will have miracle babies being born for the year after that. But this time, we even had one sim reincarnated, which allowed their lineage to go on even further. The first baby in Poland was born this year, which is Jan Borowski, the twin princess of the royal house of Landgrabs, both aged up well into young adults. Since John II is technically the elder twin, he stayed in Willow Creek as the protected household, while his twin brother Dimitrius started his own dynasty in Hanford-on-Bagley, but now he and his family would be treated as distant relatives. Therefore, they would have harder dice rolls. We also lost Sabrina Carpentier, which was honestly really sad because I had to use the chance that I had this surname. I got the hair. I don't know how many girls Carpentier family had, but I kept naming them Sabrina until one of them survived. And then she had such life that wasn't really important for the challenge, unfortunately. The alien Greenwood household in Scotland kept evolving as Annabelle was born and Adam aged up well, and in the main household Edmund and Bonnie welcomed a new baby named Dodo. I love it. Dodo. I don't know, I'm still, when I think of Dodo, I feel like Dodo. As for miracles, the ex-nun Fava Aguilera was the resurrected one, and she received one extra baby try. Also, Garcia family in Spain, Greenwood, alien Greenwoods in Scotland, and Byrne family in Ireland each got additional baby tries because of the Miracle Wheel. 1454 started with my first Eastern European dice rolls. At this point, I only have Poland, with the newly created Borowski family, and unfortunately, Valenti Borowski didn't roll well and was drafted for 13-Year War, so he will be absent from the household basically until 1466, so hopefully we will see him come back in this decade and we will continue our Polish dynasty. This was also the year the Landgrab twins became the kings of Willow Creek and Hanford-on-Bagley, and both of them married the sims who won the polls I held on my socials. I did the polls on Patreon, on my YouTube community tab, and on my Instagram stories to kind of determine the order in which those sims Sims will marry into my households. And we still have one left, I believe, so the next decade we will start with the last Sim from those polls. In the Willow Creek royal household, Prince Malcolm Landgrab was born. Of course, I had to use the iconic name. The resurrected Fava Aguilera gave birth to twin boys, though only one of them survived, Alonso. Another set of twins this year arrived in the Byrne family in Ireland, like truly miracle babies. Meanwhile, Andrew Greenwood, the last standing Sim of the rich Greenwoods, unfortunately died, and the King Dimitrius Landgrab and his wife took over the land and property, so it didn't go to like family per se. Even though, if we look at the family tree, we are all connected, but in my storyline, even though Dimitrius is supposed to be a kinder king, he's still a landgrab, so he took over the land of rich Greenwoods, and honestly the house is so beautiful, like who wouldn't? So bad to say that, but you know. Two Sims also aged up into teenagers. We had Lou Byrne, who rolled well for marriage, and Amis Farmer, who unfortunately rolled to never get married. 1455 was sort of filled with different war roles that we had to do, but out of all of them, only Carlos Garcia was drafted for Enrique IV War of Granada. In Hanford and Bagley, Princess Nancy Landgrab was born, and in the main household, we had Drew being born. But the dice were extremely unkind. Dodo died in the main household, along with several other children in different households, like a lot. There were also successful age-ups. Rose Byrne, Belle Farmer, and Stephanos Dracos all became teenagers and had to do marriage roles, but only Stephanos rolled to get married. Therefore, Rose Byrne and Belle Farmer 1456 was rather a calm year for us, but the once flourishing alien Greenwood household in Scotland started to suffer losses. By this year they already lost Annabelle and Mage, and this year they also lost Dowie. Then at the very end of this episode, Madeline, the matriarch of alien Scottish household, the wife of Anselm Greenwood, died while giving birth, though the baby Rain survived. In the Willow Creek royal household, Princess Diana Landgrab was born. In Ireland, Eleanor Byrne successfully aged up into a teenager, but unfortunately she rolled to never get married. And in Italy, the vampire child Don Lothario that is left completely alone with a caretaker, obviously, but he successfully aged up into a child. 1457 was meant to be a celebration of May Day, and usually we at the very least, for every sim that ages up into teenager, we give them flower crowns. And the last time we did it was 1400. So it's been 57 years since we had a May Day. But the dice this year were incredibly unkind. Both royal households lost their newborns, and also Queen Naomi Landgrab died during childbirth. In the main household, Drew, Edwin, and Joyce all aged up successfully, though Joyce rolled to never get married, and yet again the marriage rolls let me down a lot. Angus Byrne also aged up into a teenager, but rolled that he would never get married. Since both of the new teens were destined to become a priest and a nun, the flower crowns kind of lost its meaning, so I didn't even make a point about it in the episode. I gave one to Joyce because she's in the main household. It could be cute to see her, but eventually she'll wear the uniform. And I mean, the holiday was ruined because of the dice rolls. Later in this year, Dimitrius Landgrab remarried because he lost his wife this year and the family must go on, and we can see a little bit more of Dimitrius' personality, I believe, through this sort of actions, even though I don't specifically specify it. I kind of give the idea of what is happening there, like he's the kinder brother, he's so brave, he went to a new area to become a king and to establish it there. But then he took over somebody's land, he remarried the same year as he lost his wife. Like, there are a lot of things happening with Dimitrius Landgrab. But also Anselm Greenwood, who lost his wife previously, in the previous year, remarried. And we support that, because Anselm is an angel and we love him, and it's my favorite sim. In 1458, we had to roll for Carlos Garcia because Enrique IV War of Granada was coming to an end. And luckily he returned home safely, which meant that the Garcia family would continue trying for babies. In the Anselm's family, the alien Greenwoods from Scotland, they welcomed a new son and named him Aine. He is named after Anselm's brother that died when he was a child. And Anselm Greenwood himself aged up into an adult this year, which was a surprise for me because I did not remember about this happening in this video when I was filming. Two Sims aged up into teenagers and survived their roles, but unfortunately Jean Carpentier rolled to never get married yet again, which meant that we're losing France and all the progress over I don't know how many, potentially a century, and we'll have to start again. And I cannot wait, not gonna lie. Meanwhile, Yanni Giray, the only surviving Sim in Turkey, rolled well for the marriage chances. Okay, 1459. I have notes, but I'm very scared, like as I'm going through notes I'm thinking, did I miss something? Did I miss something important? But I don't think so. So 1459 was the most brutal year I have had ever experienced, which didn't involve any sort of predetermined scenario like Black Plague or famine. But there were some positive moments, which is Lou Byrne got married in Ireland, so we kind of started an extension of Byrne family because there are so many children, all of them rolled to never get married basically, but Lou did get married, and now we have a second Byrne household in Ireland, which I'm excited about. Stefanos Drakos in Greece also aged up into young adult successfully, meaning that he will marry at the start of the next decade. And if you remember, some years ago I told you that both of his parents died basically in the same year and he was left all alone, so I take it as a success. But that's more or less where all the positives ended. In total, 9 Sims died in this episode. The royal household of Landgrabs in Hanford and Bagley had twins, and both of them died at birth. The Scottish alien household, the Greenwoods, also lost a newborn. In the main household, Daniel Greenwood died, and then Rose Byrne, Belle Farmer, and Aaron O'Brien also passed away. So like all of the Sims plus the newborns. And the biggest losses are still not over, because the biggest loss came at the very end of the episode when our heir Edmund Greenwood and his twin sister Felice Byrne both died. So by the end of the decade, the new heir became Edmund's eldest son, Alex Greenwood if you will, but he's only 10 years old. So we're about to start the next decade with our heir being a child. Woohoo! I can't. As I'm filming this and thinking about it, I'm also thinking like what? Like, that's crazy. The most important is I think we still have 2 spares potentially, so I just hope the roles will be fine and will stick with Alex and he will get a little bit more attention from us, maybe on one of his aspiration, because in my head when I play those families I try to pay a lot of attention to the heir. He is sort of like a main character to me of the storyline. I am the heir when I play the household. This sort of vibe. I don't know if that makes sense, but also, as I said, I'm a little bit sick. I'm trying, you know. And before we finish today's episode, it's time to pick the winner of the Royalty and Legacy Grand Bundle giveaway. We overall had 16 entries, and well, yes, as always, we're letting the fate decide everything, and let's welcome the Miracle Wheel back. So I do want to keep it as clear as possible how I'm going about it, so I mirrored myself, and it's very weird, I know, but probably just to me. So I have a list of everybody who participated. Here it is. I hope you can see it on the screen. We're gonna shuffle it 3 times precisely. 1, 2, 3. And yes, if you did comment on 2 videos, on 3 videos, precisely as it was meant to by the rules, then your name is here. And yeah, we have 16 entries, so let's go ahead and spin the wheel and figure out who the winner is. I'm so excited. And the winner is Kuroki Risu, and I will send you a message or reply to your comment letting you know that you won the giveaway. By the time this video comes out, you will already know. By any means, you are very welcome to enter the giveaways for the kids that I'm hosting in this video. If you did not win, please don't be discouraged. I will be getting more giveaway codes from the EA, so I get to share them with you. Again, thank you everybody for participating, and thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to click like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And I hope to see you on the next one. Bye!